When you have a hobby that brings you so much joy, you never expect that it could one day be the very thing that ends your life. Well, that almost happened to Michelle Bray, who fell out of the sky while paragliding. Before we talk to her, take a look at what happened that day.
Michelle Bray loved being active. She was always taking on new adventures, like hiking some of the most challenging mountains in the world. Then, during the summer of 2019, she got into paragliding, and she was instantly hooked.
It was the freedom, I think, kind of once you got up in the sky, when you sort of saw the views, it was just absolutely incredible. My way of thinking was I could hike up a mountain and I could paraglide off it.
One day, she enrolled to take off on an ominous date.
Friday, the 13th of September, 2019.
She was originally supposed to take off on the 11th, but bad weather postponed it to a day when the conditions were supposed to be good.
And then on the Friday, we got the all clear that the day would go ahead.
Then the weather started to turn.
I was ordered to stand down because the wind had picked up. I'm not sure how long I waited for, maybe sort of 5-10 minutes maybe. And then I was given the all clear to go.
But after she took off, little did she know, she had just put her life on the line.
I realised the winch had been cut on me, and I seemed to be spiralling, and that's all I've got. I've got no memories. I've got no memories of the accident, no memories hitting the ground. It was just dark.
Then she saw a light.
Please welcome to the show, Michelle Bray. Wow.
So, Michelle, after everything went black, you said that you saw a light. Can you tell us more about that light?
Yeah, absolutely. There was 3 sections to my near-death experience. So to start with, I remember it was almost like stepping out of the back of the wardrobe from The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. Yep. And it was black, and I was in a forest with sort of trees and snow. I remember drifting across the forest until I got to a clearing. I dropped down into a meadow that had some beautiful flowers. It had streams, it had fountains, waterfalls. And then I was outside of a door of light, and it was this huge door of light. It was circular. And I was standing in front of it, ready to pass through it. And there was a man at the side of me on my right-hand side, and he said to me, "You have to go back." Whoa. And at that point, I started to drift away as I saw this circular door shut in sections.
Wait, now, did you recognize this man?
No, not at all.
Wow.
Look, I think we could do a whole nother show on just that, right? But let's get back to the story. Once you woke up, what are the first things you actually remember seeing and hearing?
So I have very small glimpses of memories. I was out really for 4 days. I've got small memories in that time, but I woke up 4 days later to be told I'd been in a paragliding accident. Not that I could remember it as soon as I was told it, and that I'd received life-changing injuries. I'd got 25 fractures, 3 breaks to the back, 2 bleeds on the brain, punctured lungs, and my arm had been completely smashed to pieces and was dislocated.
My gosh. So let me ask you, doctors told you would never live life normally again. So talk to us a little bit about the rehab process, because I know that can be incredibly painful mentally as well as physically.
Yes, it was huge, and it went on for a couple of years, to be honest. Wow. I remember when I was told I got life-changing injuries, my first reaction was, "You're out of your mind if you think I'm spending the rest of my life like this." But it was incredibly hard because 6 months after the accident, COVID hit, rehabilitation went offline, the NHS went down, and you were pretty much left alone to kind of, it was a fight or flight time. And in that time, I was left just pretty much walking to the end of the road and back. And I just knew in the hour we were allowed out at each day at that time, I had to just keep trying to walk. Wow. Otherwise, I would probably never have recovered it as well as I did.
Fight or flight, you fought, man. Are you now able to be, are you like paragliding again? Are you one of these people that do it again? And I'm like, oy vey is mir, stay on the ground.
No. Oh, unfortunately, I was on day 1 of an EPC course, which is an elementary pilot training course. So I was in a school when all this happened, and apparently I was hit by a dust devil, and apparently it created a crop circle. And I've never, my whole point was I would be able to learn to paraglide, I would be able to hike off mountains, and, hike mountains, paraglide off. But no, I've never gone back to it.
Michelle, you say that the air ambulance that transported you to the hospital made all the difference in saving your life. Tell us how you're raising money now to give back to them.
Yes, absolutely. So on the day of the accident, from where I was, it would have been 75 minutes by ambulance by the road. And with the air ambulance, it took them 12 minutes to get me to the nearest major trauma centre. And with those type of injuries, time and medical attention is absolutely of the essence. So what I wanted to do was give back, because it costs the air ambulance £1,700 per person to transport them. And I set off to do Mont Blanc September of last year to climb it. Unfortunately, I didn't make it due to injury, but also the weather window shut. And I put together a Just Giving page because my intention was to try and cover my ride.
Well, we're sitting here and we're talking about the accident, the injuries, the recovery, but I think the part that's missing and I'm most curious about is your mentality right at that moment when you realize that the NHS isn't there, your rehab isn't there, this rehab is going to be all on you. So what gets you to take that first step towards your rehabilitation and not just sit on the couch? Because quite frankly, I think a lot of people would understand if you chose that direction.
For me, there was no choice at that point. I think you are your own hero. The only person that can ever really make a difference in your own life is you. And I chose to fight. I chose to not give in to it. And really, when you fight for your own life, I think it is the ultimate fight.
Wow.
Michelle, you are your own hero.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beautifully said.
She's got a picture of the tree right behind her in the snow, and that's part of what she saw. And I think that's so fascinating. Right behind you is a beautiful picture and that you were describing. It's amazing.
Michelle, we appreciate go ahead. We appreciate you for sharing your story with us, DBL Nation. If you want to help Michelle raise money for the air ambulance service, go to the website on the screen. We'll be right back. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle.
Very much.